Here are 15 times Angela Levin exposed Meghan Markle's lies. For those who don't know, Angela Levin is the name to call when it comes to anything royal news and biography. Angela is a British journalist, royal biographer, and commentator, and she has been one of the most outspoken critics of Harry and Meghan. Sit tight, because when it gets to the 10th one, she spills the tea you absolutely need to hear. This is the same Archbishop Meghan claimed secretly wedded them days before the real wedding, a story he personally debunked. Angela came with full force and added that Meghan has a pattern of mistreating people, including the Archbishop of Canterbury, even though she publicly pretends to be close to him and claims to respect him spiritually. Yet, she embarrassed him by forcing him to contradict her story.
And also, how did she treat him? Very, very badly, because she said to all of us that they got married 3 days before, before we all saw them 3 days later. And he got in a real state and had to make an announcement that that is actually a criminal offence. And he didn't do that. And he couldn't have married twice. And there had to be 2 witnesses. I mean, he got in quite a stressful situation. So how can you like that? She would know, Harry would know, that actually they didn't really get married, but it was just a statement to stir things up.
According to Angela, Meghan acts like a charming diva in public, but privately, she uses people, misleads them, and leaves them stressed, just like she is doing to Harry. You can't claim to respect someone and still humiliate them unless that is what respect means in Meghan's dictionary. From Angela's point of view, Meghan has 2 faces. The public face is sweet, soft-spoken, charming, friendly, empowering, and motivational. Fall for that face at your own risk. Then there is the real face. According to Angela, Meghan is manipulative, controlling, and capable of bringing out the worst in Harry.
So she's not Miss Nice. She really isn't. And anybody who falls for that is actually, you know, like Harry did, is in a difficult position, because I think she brings out the worst in him. So, you know, if that's what you want, you'll get a surprise. If you want her to be sweet and nice and charming, she can be, but she's also got another side which is really scary.
That is Meghan's magic in full display. She constantly lies about her personality to sell a carefully crafted brand. According to Angela, when King Charles first met Meghan, he was happy and believed she was a breath of fresh air for the royals and even for Harry. Charles saw someone glamorous, stylish, and charismatic, but Angela says that was all a rehearsed performance.
When Meghan originally joined the family, I heard from somebody very, very close that he thought Meghan was wonderful. She was a breath of fresh air, and she was fantastic, and they had so much in common. And like a lot of men, he can fall for a beautiful woman who wears quite a short dress and looks at him with her eyes up or down. I don't know how you do that. But, you know, she can actually make men feel very fond of her.
Underneath, Meghan had a hidden agenda that only became clear after she secured royal attention and status. Once she got that, she was satisfied because it was what she failed to achieve in Hollywood. Angela claims Meghan strategically misled Charles about who she truly was. Meghan and Harry constantly complain about privacy, yet they expose family secrets and private conversations for books, Netflix, Spotify, podcasts, and future autobiographies.
What she does if she doesn't like something and if she's criticized, which she can't bear, I think she screams first and then she goes hiding. You know, she doesn't come out. And the next time she comes out, she always comes out with some new thing.
The royal family became their content machine. Meghan doesn't want privacy. She wants profitable privacy where she can sell chapters, gain views, and cash in on Harry's title. A wife is supposed to bring out the best in her husband, but Meghan seems to be doing the opposite. Angela argues that Meghan influences Harry into destructive behavior, like the scorched earth strategy.
How much he's under her spell and under her control, that he doesn't actually dare say something about that. His grandmother, who he loved so much, who he flew over to see that she was being looked after properly, none of that came through. He just accepted it because what Meghan says, Meghan's always right.
Yet publicly, she acts like Harry is doing everything on his own, which Angela says is a lie. Meghan pretends she isn't shaping Harry's negativity, anger, and actions, but Angela believes she absolutely is. During the Oprah interview, Meghan falsely claimed her son wasn't given a title, then contradicted herself by saying they didn't need titles. But when it came to the king's coronation, they used the event as leverage to demand titles, positions, seating arrangements, and special treatment. Angela says Meghan lied earlier because she used titles as bargaining power to keep herself looking credible when she isn't.
And Harry now likes to want to be called just Harry. He doesn't want to use his title. Yet they went through hell to get the children to be named a prince and princess. And they're not. If they don't want that, get rid of your titles and everybody will be very happy. But we have this hypocrisy that just...
Meghan is an expert at carrying blame and placing it elsewhere. She shifts blame to racism, sexism, tradition, staff, and the media for everything she faces. She never acknowledges her own role in the problems. Staff say she is the one creating the toxic environment.
They haven't got the courage to say who's been racist, who's been nasty to them, who's been after them, who's made their lives difficult. It's all insinuations, and I don't think that that's right. It has to be somebody to cross that out and make sure that they either say exactly who it is or shut up.
Angela says this is one of Meghan's biggest lies. Meghan claims she struggled in a system where men were valued more than women. Angela calls this absurd and outrageous. She insists Meghan's life, marriage, and royal role show the opposite.
There was no gratitude. Meghan wouldn't be known for anything if she hadn't actually married Harry and been in the royal family. But she, her wedding was £132 million, no gratitude.
Angela sees this as Meghan trying to create a sexist narrative for sympathy and attention. When they left royal duties, Meghan and Harry promised to continue their service independently. Angela argues this was a lie because their actions don't match the promise. They have done little to no public service or social work, despite claiming they would be global change makers. All they do is sign big Netflix checks and expose royal secrets that aren't true. Angela says this misleads the public about their real intentions.
It's now 2 years and they've been out of touch. And it's a very different world that they're living in, and they need to sort of mug up on what's going on.
Angela strongly rejects Meghan's claim that she was oppressed by the royal family. She argues that Meghan was embraced, supported, and given unusual freedom. Angela insists there was no plot, hostility, or sabotage from the royal family. Instead, she believes Meghan invented the oppression narrative to justify her actions, gain sympathy, and demonize the monarchy. Angela calls the idea that Meghan was a royal victim one of the biggest lies.
On trying, and Harry is so feeble if you just keep telling her that she's so wonderful and she shouldn't worry about it. Actually, a really good husband would say, look, let's sit down and see what you're doing wrong and try to get over it, and I will help you in every way. But she's too full of herself, isn't she?
Angela claims Meghan constantly announces or hints at major creative projects like feminist shows or artistic productions, even when Netflix has not approved anything. She acts like she has budgets and creative control that she actually doesn't. Angela says this creates a false impression that Meghan is a major Hollywood creative force, when insiders know many of those projects never existed or were already rejected.
If she's going to be behind the camera, which has said that they're going to do that now, no one be slightly interested, because, you know, the directors and producers aren't the ones who get people, you know, standing in the street and shouting and cheering them. You know, she's got no experience to do that, no delicacy, no insight. It's just not there. So it's a waste of time and money.
Angela cites comments from Black critics who say, Meghan only aligns herself with Black communities when it benefits her image. She accuses Meghan of adopting racial narratives only when they help her brand, while ignoring them when they don't.
She's not talented, she's no good. You know, she has told lies. She's even, you know, a lot among Black people, they say that she's using them for her own aid.
Angela believes this identity flipping is manipulative and dishonest. Angela claims Meghan loves to push the narrative that she was sidelined because she is a woman. But according to Angela, Meghan was supported, celebrated, and given enormous freedom. She even says Harry allowed her to run wild.
You know, she likes saying that everybody against women, when in fact, I mean, she's done phenomenally well because nobody's been against her, i.e. her husband let her run wild. And it's again, a nonsense.
Angela calls out Meghan's Oprah claim about learning how to be Black after joining the royal family. She points out that public figures like Trevor Phillips disputed the claim and said Meghan used it for dramatic effect.
She had to learn how to be Black, you know, because she wasn't until she got married, until she met the royal family. And he was very much against her and how she's behaved.
Critics argue her upbringing contradicts this narrative. Angela frames it as another exaggeration. Angela doesn't only accuse Meghan of lying. She says Meghan is the queen of exaggeration. If something small happens, Meghan turns it into a dramatic story that makes her look like the injured heroine.
She's lost all her credibility, and I think that they will, one, not listen to it. People won't believe it because she's got a reputation for telling untruths or exaggerating hugely, so it doesn't make any sense.
Angela claims Meghan inflates minor issues into major victimhood narratives to gain sympathy, headlines, and emotional reactions. There you have it. 15 times Angela Levin exposed Meghan Markle and her lies. Which of these points surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.